Hi there, guys. Good evening.
Welcome, teacher.
Welcome here.
Welcome.
Hi there. How are you?
How are you? I'm good.
That's good to hear. So, how's it going?
Yes, I'm good. I'm so happy to share with uh, your lesson.
Perfect. So, let's start without any further ado. Before that, Drew, how are you, man? How's it going?
I'm fine, sir.
Yes.
That's good, man. Just give me a few seconds. I'm trying my best to broadcast it everywhere. So, we are currently live on YouTube. We are live on Facebook. I think we should be live on Instagram too. And we'll be shortly live on LinkedIn as well. Yeah, I think we're done with the setup. So yeah, we are live. Let's start the session. Drew, do you have any questions? Nazdar, do you have any questions for me?
Yes, teacher.
Mm-hmm.
I research for this diagram, and I would like to ask you um, about the the versions of IELTS. Um, there are two versions of IELTS:
Mm.
academic IELTS and general IELTS.
Mm.
Uh, uh, are they the same format for both versions?
Mm.
Uh, well, in the test.
Okay. So what you're
Uh,
saying is that IELTS has two formats: IELTS Academics and IELTS General. So I'm not sure about your exact question. Can you please repeat that part?
I have the same question for both, uh, or different.
Okay. So when it comes to IELTS Academics, we have listening, reading, writing, and speaking. And for writing task,
Yes,
we have task one, that is report writing, and for task two, we have an essay. But when it comes
yes,
to general training, there is a small change. So in terms of writing task, for task one, instead of a report, we have a letter. So we have to write a letter. So that is how the test is. And when it comes to the reading part, instead of three academic passages, we only have two general passages and one academic passages. So comparatively, it's easier than the academic training.
yes. And in general,
Mm-hmm.
yes, it is hard or easy like academic.
Okay, as I said, relatively it's easier than academics training because the passages are not as lengthier as academics, and the writing task only requires you to write a simple letter. It might be a formal letter, informal, semi formal. So it
Yes,
depends on the question that is asked.
yes. Thank you,
Yeah.
thank you.
Let me do one thing. Let me simplify this task by sharing my screen. Give me a second.
Mm, yes, yes, yes. Um, and also I am preparing. Uh, yes,
You're preparing for?
yes.
I think the screen has gone white.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, give me a second. It should be visible now.
Yes.
All right, so let's see. Is my voice clear or is it breaking?
Clear.
It's clear.
Yes, sir.
So this is how it looks. So IELTS academics and general training, as I mentioned. So we have listening, we have reading, we have writing, in which we have task 1, that is a report. We have task 2, that is an essay, and then we have speaking. As I mentioned, task 1 is not a report anymore, it's a letter. So it could be personal, it could be formal, or it could be semi-formal. Here if you look at the parts, we have part 1, that is part 1, 2 and 3. All are academic topics. And if you look over here in the reading part, part 1 and 2 are general topics, and then comes part 3, that is an academic topic. Is it clear now how the structure of the whole IELTS test is? So comparatively, IELTS academics is relatively challenging as compared to the general training.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. That's clear. Clear. Yes.
All right, perfect.
Yes. For reading, teacher, I have a question. If I read a passage, you are put the score on intonation.
Are you talking about reading or
Intonation
speaking?
of read. Can I read the passage and
Yes.
tell me how is my intonation?
Sure. I think I have your message
Can I read?
from Telegram. Give me a
Yes.
second, I'll pull out
Read.
that message that you shared.
Read?
You already shared a passage on the Telegram channel. It was
Yes.
this
Can I
passage.
read?
Yes, you can look at the screen and read it out.
Yes. Domestic robot.
Go for it.
Domestic robot. Machines that look after your home are getting clever, but they still need care and attention if they are to perform as intended. Floor cleaning machines capable of responding to their environment were among the first commercially available domestic products worthy of being called robots. The best known is the the best known is the Roomba, made by iRobot, an American made by iRobot, an American company which has sold more than 3 million of this shaped this shaped freeze frisbee sized vacuuming robots. The latest model, the fifth version of the Roomba, has more sensors and clever software than its predecessors. Press the clean button button and the robot glides out of its docking station and sets off across the floor. Domestic robots are supposed to free up time so that you can do other things, but watching how the robot Roomba deals with obs- uh, obs- obstacle- obstacles is strangely compelling. It is capable of sensing its surroundings and does not simply try to adhere to a planet route, so it is not upset if furniture is moved or if it is picked up and taken to clean another room. It is infrared sensors enable it to slow down before reading an obstacle such as a dozy cat changing direction and setting off again. Tell these two passage. Is it clear?
Yeah, you can continue. Finish this one.
Complete?
Yeah, please complete it.
Yes.
From here, it steadily
Um,
works.
Steadily works its way around the room, uh, uh, figuring out how to get out from under the television stand or and entangle itself from a stray Game Boy recharging. Let watch it for long enough, and you can sometimes predict its next move. The machine has a dirt sensor and flashes a blue light when it finds things to clean up. Only when it detects no more. Yes. No more dirt does it stop going over the same area and eventually conclude that the whole room is clean. It then trundles back to dock at its recharging station.
Station. So, Nazar,
Yes.
how do you feel after reading everything?
Yes.
How do you feel now?
Mm. Um, yes.
Does it feel good to read out
I have
loud? Or
clever.
were you nervous? Did you feel good or did you feel nervous?
Yes. Mm. Yes.
Okay, take
I don't
a
know.
deep breath.
Uh, I saw. I have more. I have more mistake.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nazar, always remember this thing that every expert that you see was once a professional. So you have to start from the beginning. So every expert was once a beginner, not a professional. Every expert you see was once a beginner, and it's good that you have this courage that you spoke in front of these many people. You were reading it out loud, so that's a good beginning. Right? So the more you read, the easier it gets, but you need visual and auditory reference. For reading, you need auditory reference. You need to listen to how people pronounce these words so that you can replicate the same.
Yes.
I'll read out the first two lines for you. Right? Machines that look after your
Yes.
home are getting cleverer, but they still need care and attention if they are to perform as intended. So this is how people read. This is how we speak. But for you, I'll read it once again, but this time I'll slow down. Machines. Did you notice that I also pronounced the last syllable? Sir. Machines that look after your home are getting cleverer,
Yes.
but they still need care and attention if they are to perform as intended. Now try the same thing. Try to read the first two lines.
Yes. Machines that look after your home are getting clever.
Cleverer. Try to pronounce that again.
Clever.
Cleverer.
Clever.
Cleverer.
Cleverer.
Perfect.
Cleverer. But they still need care and attention if they are to perform as intended.
Perfect. Can you see the difference now? Yeah. So you had
Yes.
something to refer to. You were trying to remember how I spoke, so you can replicate that. So what you need to do is, in order to improve your reading and then your speaking, you need to start listening to people. You need to start listening to people who speak slowly for you. Generally, people don't speak this slow. They speak a little bit faster. So what you can do is you can rely on applications. You can use an application called Blinkist. I'll just share the screenshot of it. So can you see my screen? Can you see this image? This is the interface, or you can say this is how the application that I'm referring to looks. So the name of the application is Blinkist. I'm pasting its logo.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. So what you need to do is
This is good.
listen to these audios. It has the audio and the transcript, so you'll be able to read and listen at the same time, and try to decrease the speed. Don't play it at normal speed. For you, as you're a beginner, just play it at normal speed. Try to go even lower than the normal speed. So this will allow you to understand the words. And once you feel comfortable, then play it at normal speed. And then every single time, make sure that you repeat. And this is not just for Nazdar. I'm recommending this to everyone over here. So try to speak
thank
with
you.
these people. These are professionals. The person who is narrating this speech, they are not random people. They are getting paid to speak. So they are professionals. Their accent is good. They know great vocabs. Their pronunciation is native. So you can listen to them constantly. And the more you listen, the better your speaking gets. And once you have these references, you'll be able to read these words exactly as they are intended to be.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much.
You're most welcome. Dear.
Thank you very much.
So let's commence this session. Dhruv, Vishwa, Chirag, Man, and Meena. You guys are here. Thank you so much for joining. This is our 70th IELTS Q&A session, and I don't even remember when we started our first, but here we are. Would anyone like to introduce themselves? Anyone new over here? I think Man 7. I think you're new over here. Would you like to introduce yourself? Manthan.
Okay, hello sir.
Hi there.
Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible, loud and clear. Yes, you're audible.
From Gujarat, Bhavnagar.
You are from Gujarat, Bhavnagar.
Sorry sir, currently I am traveling so I cannot provide my speech perfectly.
That's not an issue. You're perfectly audible. You're absolutely clear. You said you're from Bhavnagar, Gujarat.
Yes sir.
So am I.
He's my friend.
Acha. So, Manthan, would you like to give your introduction speech?
Sir, what I need to speak in my introduction, many things like you tell me.
You can say anything. It's your platform. Now you can speak whatever you want. Just make sure that it is relevant to this. ટૂંકમાં કઈ આડું અવળું ન
Okay,
બોલતા.
I just completed my bachelor of. Okay, sir. Okay, sir. I just completed my bachelor of science in microbiology field, and I wanted to study further in abroad, and yes, just in case.
So, did you decide which country you want to go?
So I not justify because I had many countries in my list, like Canada and New Zealand. I I prefer New Zealand because now mass immigration is now hyping and it is not possible to survive in Canada.
Yeah. See, for the people who do not have skills, it is difficult to survive even in cities like Bhavnagar. In a small city like Bhavnagar, it's difficult to survive. But if you're skilled,
Yeah, it is true.
People need you. So, either it would be Canada or New Zealand. So, what are you doing these days?
Just preparing for IELTS and uh, developing my skills like typing and coding.
As well as coding. Did you ever
Yes.
work as a coder?
I
Or are you just learning?
No, never. I just learning by myself by YouTube and other platforms like Coursera.
Coursera. Okay. So, in terms of typing, I would highly recommend two websites. The first one is typing.com. This is a free platform where you can learn typing, and I hope that you are typing with all your fingers, all 10 of them.
Yeah.
That's better. And make sure that you learn how to type without looking. Another one is once you learn how to use all your fingers, you can use this website named Monkey Type. So on this website, you will be able to practice your skills, your typing skills. This will help you not just for your IELTS preparation if you are taking the computer-based test, but also your coding career. Okay, let's start with the questions.
Okay, sir.
Manthan, do you have any specific questions for me? Any modules that you are struggling with or communication skills?
Yes, I am very concerned about my reading because every reading has its different criteria, like different question types, like list of headings and information matchings. Every when you use techniques like reading first or second line, that did not applied everywhere. So what can I do?
So, before we proceed further, what is your reading background? How many books did you finish in the past? I'm not talking about your school or college days. I'm talking about the books that you selected for reading for yourself in English.
It is one book I remember is Money Management and Atomic Habits.
Did you finish both those books?
No, I didn't finish because I purchased it recently.
Purchased it recently. So I can also say that you recently started reading for the sake of IELTS.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so this is where you have started. So you have started reading, so that's a good thing. But eventually you'll have to
Hmm.
learn a lot of new words, and once you get comfortable with vocabulary, learn the grammatical structures, and then you can understand the passages better. It's not about strategies. You're pursuing strategies, and one thing about strategy I can tell you, I can guarantee that even if you know all the strategies in the world, you will only be able to reach the location of the correct answer, but it won't tell you what it means.
Hmm.
સિમ્પલ ભાષામાં કહું તો તમે ખાલી લોકેશને પહોંચી શકશો, પણ સમજાશે નહીં કે કેવા શું માંગે છે.
It's there. Hmm.
So for that you need words.
I have seen many kinds of YouTube videos like how to correct our answers and how to find them and how to score good in reading. But I can't enable.
See, the thing is, for YouTube people do share things that students wants to listen. So I can simply add a thumbnail that 8 bands in 3 weeks, 4 weeks, but that's not the reality.
Hmm.
Correct? So learning a language needs time. It's just like growing crops, growing trees. You need to constantly foster it. You need to take care of your skills, and eventually you'll see that you'll start speaking better. You'll start reading better. Just like Nazdar, she recently read an entire passage, and the second time I just explained simple things that this is something that you need to change. This is how you need to pronounce, and there was instantaneous result in her speech. It was far better. Alright, so try to find right guidance. I think you're already a part of an institute in Bhavnagar along with Chirag.
Yes.
Yeah, so ask them.
Sir, I have.
Hmm?
How, how can I improve my speaking? Like, બહુ gaps પડે છે વચમાં.
Fillers. So, how many languages do you speak, Manthan?
તો થોડું થોડું but હિન્દી and ગુજરાતી.
So, Hindi, Gujarati, and partially you can say English as well because you understand this language.
Yes.
Right? So,
Yes, yes.
when you are speaking in English, you try to think about two different languages, and that is the reason you're lacking. That is the reason you have fillers, you get hesitation, because your brain is constantly switching between two languages. It's not able to decide which language to speak out. Because for one language you're restricting yourself that you should not speak out Gujarati, and another language you are allowing yourself to say whatever you want. But the problem is you don't have the correct words, and even if you have, it takes some time. So what you need to do is you need to start diluting Gujarati and start consuming English as much as possible. So the more you consume listening audios, listening content, the better reference you will have for speaking. For instance, if
Yes,
I
sir,
ask
I'm
you,
trying to do it.
yeah, for instance, Manthan, if I ask you, how was your day? What would you say?
Yes, my day was very good.
So this answer that you said, my day was
And-
very good. Did you hear it from someone else?
Uh,
Someone said this in the past. My day was very good. So the more you listen, the more concepts you'll have, the more references you'll have. So you need to make sure that you consume good quality content as much as possible. There is an entire list of things. and-
because when I was speaking that in Gujarati continuously thoughts are coming in Gujarati.
True. Because you are now switching to two different languages, Hindi, Gujarati, sometimes Hindi, most of the times Gujarati, and you are trying your best to speak in English. Right? So instead of explaining everything to you, I can simply show you what you need to search. So you can simply search for mind maps. Okay, let me go to Google. So search for mind maps by Jaison. So you'll be able to see this website. Is it visible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So if you click on this, I've shared a bunch of mind maps. I want you to cover the second one. So this is the one that we added last week. All thanks to Nazdar. She asked me to add it on the website. So here we are. So this covers all the basic concepts of IELTS. Everything. The things that even covers listening, reading, writing, speaking. What are the things in academics, general training and everything. But I want you to cover this part. Can you see this screen? This mind map.
Yes, sir.
So over here it says skills to develop to improve your chances of getting a job in the future. So it's about what next. So if you click here, you'll be able to see many skills. Out of them, communication skills is what you're pursuing. And if you go here, you'll be able to see a bunch of recommendations. So this is exactly what I recommend to my students. Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
I have not covered it comprehensively, but you'll get an idea of what you need to do, what your next steps should be. Got it? So this is what you need to do. So the more you practice, the easier it gets. And I'll show you a simple explanation of how the language works. Give me a second. Can you see the whiteboard now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I've explained this in the past, but let me repeat it. So, listening, reading, writing, speaking. So this is how the language works. These are the 4 aspects of the language, and we also have one fundamental aspect, that is grammar. So do you think grammar is a skill or is it a concept?
I think it is a skill because I don't
No,
know much grammar.
it's a concept. It's not something that you need to learn as a skill. It's just a concept. Once you understand this concept, you can implement this concept to these skills. So these are all the skills. So listening is a skill, reading, writing, speaking, these are skills. Now what you want to learn first is the fundamentals of grammar. I don't want you to become a grammar Nazi or a grammar professional. Just understand the basics, and the PDF that I shared earlier, it covers the basic things that you should be knowing as a language learner. So once you understand those things, you need to start listening to more concepts as much as possible. So try to consume content in English. So this will give you reference for speaking, because this first part tells everyone whether you understand the language or not. So if you're good at listening and reading, that means you understand the language well. And if you can understand this language well, that means you can also produce the language well. So if you want to produce good conversations in speaking, you need to listen to good quality content, mimic it and repeat it in your speech. If you want to write better content, you need to read better content, because that is where all the punctuations are, spellings are, grammatical structures are, and everything. So can you see the correlation between them? Can you see the correlation between listening, speaking, reading, and writing?
Yes, sir.
The skills that you need for speaking are pronunciation. That is the first thing that you need to focus on, pronunciation. Then comes intonations. We were recently talking about intonations. I think Nasdar, while reading, she tried her best to add more intonations. And the more you practice about intonations, the better you get. Intonations simply means emphasizing the sounds when you speak. To put things in simple perspective, I can say she looks beautiful, or I can say she looks absolutely beautiful. So the second one had intonations. Right? So pronunciation allows you to speak clearer, and intonations add life to your speech. It's just like having a heartbeat in your speech. So if it goes monotonous, people would get bored. It won't be fun to listen. Right? Then of course comes vocabulary and a lot of things, but these are the main 2 things that you want to focus on: pronunciation, intonations. And while reading, make sure that you focus on accuracy first, because if you read accurately, you will be producing the language accurately while writing. If you miss the articles, if you miss the singular plural while reading, you might, I'm not saying might, you will miss it in your writing. Got it? So this is a concept, this is a skill, and then comes the content. So what is content? Any idea?
Subject about we speak.
Any topic could be a content.
Topic, yes.
Yeah, any topic, whatever you watch. But I would recommend a few things. There is this podcast named as Impact Theory. You can find it on Spotify, you can find it on YouTube. There is the Diary of a CEO. You can watch TED Talks, you can watch movies, web series, and you can even watch cartoons, but it should be in the English language. Listen to songs and watch. And once you understand the language, you should start targeting academic content. This will help you to understand academic concepts easily. When you read these things, you'll be able to understand these things better. And the simplest way is to read the academic essays. Right? So you'll get a lot of content if you read a lot of essays written for IELTS. So let's talk about the time duration. How long do you need to take for concepts? How much time do you need to spend for concept? The grammatical part, that's a concept. How much time do you need to understand grammar? Chirag, how many months do you need for learning grammar from scratch?
Only 1 month.
1 month. Dhruv, how many months do you need to learn grammar from scratch?
Up to 1.
1 month. I would say 2 months would be sufficient to even practice them. 1 month is sufficient for learning, 1 month is sufficient for practicing. So 2 months in total. What about content? How many months do we need to consume content? Is it ending, or is it something that we can do our entire life? Entire life. So this never gets over. What about skills? How many months do we need to learn these skills, or how many years do we need to learn these skills to reach a communicative level where we can effectively communicate? I'm talking about skills, individual skills. Some people can only speak a particular language. For instance, my parents are from the southern part of India, so I can speak Malayalam, but I don't know how to read, I don't know how to write. I'm just experienced in terms of one aspect, that is speaking. Yes, if I listen, I can understand. So listening and speaking, these two things I can do. But when it comes to reading, I cannot even identify a single letter. So individual skills you can master. I have experience of speaking in Malayalam of 28 years. My entire life I've been speaking this language. But even after almost 3 decades, I don't know how to read or write. That means you need to individually spend time for all 4 aspects of this language. So I would say 6 months to a year is sufficient to learn one skill. Simultaneously, if you add more skills, it can take more time. Got it? English medium students, another example, they spend 15 years of their life learning the English language, and once they finish their colleges, they can speak, they can write, they can read, they can understand the language. But if you're just focusing on the language, and if you want to learn it quickly, at our age, I'm talking about 20s, 30s, will take at least 6 months to a year to cover all these things as skills. So 1 to 2 months, lifetime. This would take 6 to 12 months. And now there is one more thing, that is IELTS, listening, reading, writing, speaking. So how many months do you think we need to learn these concepts? I'm not talking about skills, I'm talking about the concepts. It includes strategies, how to write, how not to write. How much time does it take to learn these things? Any idea? Take a guess. Dhruv, to understand these concepts from scratch, how much time
All
is sufficient?
things?
All these skills. I'm just talking about listening. For instance, if it is listening, 40 questions, 30 minutes of audio, 10 minutes of transfer time, reading 3 passages, 40 questions. Task 1 is report, task 2 is essay, speaking 3 sections. How much time do you think we need to learn these concepts?
I think it would be depend on totally depend on persons, any person, but according to uh, but in my perspective, uh, it would be 7 to 10 days.
7 to 10 days. So let's say if we spend a lot of time, 10 days should be sufficient to understand the concepts.
Yes, sir.
Correct? So yes, that is true. We can understand the concepts within 10 days, but that would be kind of a fast track thing. So 10 days. So now if I give you a simple hint, there are Instagram ads, there are YouTube ads that say clear IELTS with 8 band within 4 weeks. So if you are a master of concept, that is grammar, if you already know these skills good, you already consumed a lot of content, you don't even need 4 weeks and you can still score a commendable band or great band. So now did you get this part where they are marketing it as clear IELTS in 4 weeks?
Yes, sir.
So if you know these things, yes, it just takes 10 days and the rest of the time you can spend practicing the tests. But if you are new to concepts of grammar, if you are new to the skills, if you are not consumed sufficient content, even a year is insufficient for you. Got the difference? What I'm trying to explain here?
Yes, sir.
It's just
Yes,
a
sir.
language. All you have to do is spend time. And let's demystify one concept. It's not practice. No. Many people say that you should practice and you will get better. No. This is the incorrect quote that has been trending for decades or maybe centuries. Practice makes a man perfect. I think 2 or 3 people over here knows that this is absolutely bullshit. Would anyone like to justify this part? Why am I saying
So,
that
sir,
this is wrong?
so, so what do we do? Except practice. If practice does not make you perfect, so what should we do, sir?
Okay, I'll come back to that. So
Perfect practice, mate.
hold on, bro. You already know the secret. Don't spill it out. Anyone else who would agree with Lord that practice is the thing that we should do to make or become perfect?
So we've been taught for many decades, right? Okay, practice make you perfect. If you don't do practice, I don't think you will be able to, learn anything at all in your life.
See,
So I think that's why we've been, practicing for a long time, sir.
that is true. See, I never said that you should not practice, but there are many important ingredients that are missing. You cannot just keep practicing and expect yourself to get better. Let's say all of us are at least 20 years old, correct? Is there anyone who is
Yes.
below 20? I think we are all in our 20s. So can we say that we have 2 decades of experience in terms of writing? I'm talking about your handwriting, our handwriting. Is there anyone who would say that you have calligraphic handwriting? A single person? That if you write, people would just say, wow, this is amazing. We should capture a photo. Do we have those type of handwriting?
No, sir.
Why? 2 decades of experience, 2 decades of practice.
Because sir, we have not, I think, done practice constantly over our writing.
But we can say that at least once a month we write something. If we are in an academic context, we constantly write. Still, no one would capture a photo of our handwriting because there are many things that are missing. So let's demystify this. This is absolutely wrong. It's not just practice. Practice is important. I'm never saying that you should not practice. First of all, this is gender specific. What about all the women out there? Even right now we have a few women. So what about girls? So gender specific. So first error. Second thing is perfection is a myth. Any iPhone users out here? I'm not using an iPhone. Is there anyone who uses an iPhone?
Yes, sir, I do.
Okay, so you have an iPhone. So even if it is iPhone 15 Pro Max Ultra 5G 3G whatever it is, next year there will be a better version. So even companies like Apple's cannot perfect their products. So who are we?
Yeah.
So perfectionism myth.
But I
That
think,
is-
sir, but sir, they are upgrading the models. If they would not upgrade the models, so how would they sell the mobile, sir?
exactly. So that is
People
called,
would not have option.
that is called upgradation. So there is always space. There is always room for upgrading, and we are human beings. We have the best. We have the best brains in the world, as compared to other animals. So yes, practice. We'll keep this as it is, but we'll change the form. We'll change it to gerund form because it's an action that we need to do. It's not something that we do once and we are experts. Can anyone say that you have practiced drawing or writing poems during your childhood and you are still an expert without practicing? No. So practicing. Now there is one thing that we need, that is the most important thing. This is a Friday evening. It's almost 11 p.m. We have at least 12 people over here, 8 to 12 people. So why are you guys here? With an intention to learn the language? What if you did not have the intention? You would not be here. So did you figure out the second skill, second important ingredient, that is intention. So practicing with an intention to improve. So two criterias. Practicing. Okay, I think I made a mistake. Practicing. Yeah. So practicing with an intention to improve. Still one more thing is missing. What if the techniques that I'm sharing over here is wrong? And what if you keep practicing those techniques? Because I've seen students, they constantly practice, they have people to guide them, and still they are not able to do anything because the techniques are wrong. So you also need proper techniques. So practicing with an intention to improve with proper techniques is what gives you not perfection, we get progress. Now does this feel complete? We have everything. We have covered both the genders, men as well as women. This is gender neutral. This is not gender specific. We have practicing. Yes, I never said that we should not practice. We should practice. But without intention, it is just like our parents dragging our hands. If you remember, when we were learning how to write, they used to hold our hand. We might be sleeping, but still they made us write. And that is just dragging without intention. You guys are adults. You have an intention to learn. Your parents did not force you to attend these sessions, but you're still learning. You're still learning because you have an intention to improve. My duty, my sole responsibility is to give you the correct technique with a logical reasoning. Everything I tell over here, I back it up with a logic. This is why I'm sharing, and this is the reason I'm sharing. Now, Lord, do you think this is a better technique, better quote as compared to the previous one?
Sir, sorry for that. I didn't get you, like, your clear point.
Okay, I'll explain the whole thing again. You cannot expect to just practice without an intention. That is labor work. Laborers do practice, but they don't have the intention to do that work. हम उसको हिंदी में मजूरी कहते हैं. Do you
Yes,
think
sir.
they have the intention to do that? No, but they still do it. We are not laborers. We have this intention to improve the language, and the only thing you need to look for is proper techniques. And if you do these things regularly, you have the intention, you do the practice, and you have the proper techniques. These three things, if they match, you will eventually get the progress, and that is guaranteed if you're in the right direction. What if you want to learn the German language and you're attending these sessions where I'm teaching English? So this is the wrong platform. So direction is also important.
Yes, sir.
Correct. And one thing, I'm not sure if you guys have noticed already, but our Telegram channel's old logo, or you can say old profile picture, is this one. And this is something that I've been talking about for the past 3 years or more now. More than 3 years now. So as of now, when you practice, every single day might feel like a small task done, a small task accomplished. It doesn't feel like much. But eventually, you start seeing progress. And that is what we are aiming for. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. So anyone who'd like to still justify the previous one? Practice makes man perfect. All right, let's move on to the next question. Do we have any questions, any queries?
So, what should we do like properly, which make us progress, sir? Which can make us progress, sir? Like exactly, can you tell us like accept practice, like, and what should be the practice which we must do?
Okay. So one thing is, I just shared this recently. Let me share this page again. I'll have to refresh everything. Give me a second. So yeah. So on Google, just search for it's loading. 1 second. Just search for Mind Maps by Jaison LC Jose, and you should be able to find this PDF. Not the PDF, but the file, the mind map. Right? And if you scroll down, you should be able to see this particular mind map. It says what next, and in that PDF, you should be able to see this file. Can you see this mind map? Skills to develop your skills. Sorry, skills to develop. Communication skills. There are other skills as well. It also includes typing, the 2 websites that I shared. Monkey Type and to learn, typing.com. And this is what you need to thoroughly cover. So these are tips that I've added. These are all the skills that you can learn, and these are all the things that you can do. So everything has details and everything, links and everything is available. So this will help you to improve your language, communication skills. And IELTS is a test of communication skills in the English language. Clear? And if you need this link, just drop me a DM. I'll send it to you personally. So, next question.
Hello, sir. I have a problem.
Yes, what's up?
Yes. If we do not understand that paragraph,
Hmm.
which in like list of heading and also information matching in reading, then what should we do?
Okay, let's do one thing. Let me share a passage here. Can you see this PDF?
Yes, sir.
I'd like to show something over here. In this passage, this particular portion, I think the students who have attended the previous sessions, they know what this passage is. But I'm talking about the new people, new ones. Try to read it in your mind and then try to explain what's going on. She means Deborah. Let's take a few seconds, read it out, read it in your mind. And once you're done, you can just let me know that you're done. Done? Pooja, I've unmuted you. Pushparaj, I've unmuted you. Jamshed, you're unmuted.
Hello, sir. Good evening.
Very good evening. How are you? How's your health?
It's far better than before.
Awesome.
I was admitted in hospital for 10 days.
Okay.
Now I got my date for surgery. So finally, I'm going through surgery on Tuesday.
Which surgery
So
exactly?
definitely, it is for gallbladder stone, and I'm going to laparoscopic cholecystectomy.
So, all the best for your surgery and wishing you a speed recovery.
Thank you so much.
So, how are you like? What are you doing these days?
Yeah, I told you before that I have been admitted in hospital for 10 days. Today I got discharged from hospital.
Okay.
So luckily I'm fine. I'm able to speak and I'm able to walk. But if I talk about food, meals, so I'm not able to take it properly. It's only liquid diet that I'm relied on. And let's see what next on Tuesday. Like what is in like futures back for me. And I discussed my interview plan before that. Like I think 15 days back, I had a conversation with you that I'm going through.
Yeah.
So I lose that interview, and one of the interviews I got selected and I got posting, but I'm not able to perform my duty. So
At this moment, you're
there's
not
nothing to
able.
do with. Yeah,
At this
no,
moment, you're not
because they want. It was a direct, it was direct posting, so I got selected with by interview,
Hmm.
and they need, because right now there is so many things is going on, like pandemic. You can say epidemic is going on, like vomiting, loose motions, right,
Okay.
outside. So they needed for that, and I was not able to, because right now I'm going through so many situations, and I heard that when the God wants you to perform well, to grow well, and they put you in danger, they put you in some different situations so that you can learn a lot.
See, Pooja, try to understand this thing. The harder your life is, the better stories you'll have to tell for your followers, the people who would get inspired by you in the future.
Yeah, sure. You're right.
So, as you're not feeling well, I won't ask you to read. I'll have to go to other students, but just sit there and relax. And if you have any doubts, let me know.
Okay, sir.
All right. So, and wishing you a speedy
Thank you.
recovery. Get well soon.
Thank you so much.
So, would anyone like to read this passage, or would anyone like to share their understanding of this passage? What are they trying to say? I'll explain a concept after a few explanations. But what is Deborah, or what is this passage trying to explain? Manthan, would you like to give it a
Oh,
shot?
so yeah, let me try, sir.
Yeah,
Uh,
go ahead.
I think I don't know Deborah is the author of this book or the page. I don't know, sir. But I think she's thankful to some people. Those have had to London in order to make this what we can say place to become a mathematical or experimental what we can say the society. I can say that.
Okay.
So I think she is thankful to some people. Those are scientists in London. Right, those are I think what we can say buzzed up, like the entire society help to them. Some people to mathematical what we can say kind of stuff. They have built it in the London. What I'm getting, sir. I don't know. I'm able to make you understand or not.
Yeah, I got your point. I
But what
understood
I'm
what you're
getting, I'm
trying
telling you.
to
Yes,
explain.
sir.
Yeah, I got your point. I think Manthan, you were about to say something.
Sir, I know the actual meaning of crystallized, but here to which extent it is used,
Exactly.
crystallized.
Exactly my point. And there is one more thing. It's not just crystallized. There is also a melting point.
Yes, it is also.
And there is also one more word, erudite. There is vocabulary, there is devotes, elegant. What I'm trying to explain is there are words that you first need to master, and then comes inferred meaning. So I'll just show you what inferred means. Now, do you understand what is inferred meaning? Something that we need to conclude, and it should be exactly what the author is trying to convey. So let's see the inferred meaning. First, we'll understand the vocabulary, and then we'll explain the inferred meaning. And Manthan, please mute yourself when you're not speaking, because people are speaking in the background. And once you speak, make sure that you unmute yourself. Right? Thank you. Okay, so I'll read from the beginning. Deborah Harkness devotes. Devotes means she is completely dedicated to something, that is devoted. People have devotees in different religion. Devotes her elegant. Elegant means great looking, and erudite means full of knowledge. You can Google it. Erudite. So having or showing great knowledge or learning. So she's talking about her book, which has a lot of knowledge. The Jewel House. To the scientific community in the 16th century. Let's understand 16th century, then we'll proceed further. Anyone who can tell me what exactly is 16th century?
Sir, I think 400 year ago, I think she's talking about like.
But what about the years?
16, like 1600.
What
Sir,
about the years?
1600 AD. 1600 AD, sir.
Two.
Sorry, sir?
When did it start? Did you say 1600? It started in 1600s, and when did it end?
No,
It's a span of 100 years.
1600. And sir, I think
Sir, can
those scientists would have done something in 1600 AD. So she's talking about it, sir. Like it was the time when it got started, I think.
What I'm asking is, a century is a span of 100 years. So if you're saying 1600, so if it started in 1600, it should end in 1700. Is this what you're saying? Is this 16th
No, sir,
century?
it is 17th century.
So I did not get your point.
Sir, I think she's talking about the 16th century, sir.
So which years?
Like 1600.
1600 to?
I think, sir, what I'm getting, sir, 16 to 17, I think.
No. Manthan, give it a try.
So 1500 to 1599.
1500 to?
1599.
Anyone else would like to try? This is also wrong, by the way.
1501.
Dhruv. Alright, go ahead. 1501 to
1599.
1599. Dhruv, you are wrong. Anyone else?
60, sorry.
1600.
Yes.
Then you're right. Okay, let's understand how centuries work. We are in the 21st century. Can we all agree to that? We are in the 21st century.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so it will end in the year 2100. It will end. That is the last year for the 21st century. But it started in 2001. So we are going 100 years back. Now is it clear how centuries work? Let's try a few more. Let's check 16th century. So 16th century, as Dhruv said, it ended in 1600, but it started in 1501. So a span of 100 years. 1 to 100. Can you say this? 1 to 100. So when it comes to IELTS reading, yes, you need to understand how centuries work, or else you'll get stuck, because they won't always mention 16th century, 15th century. They might simply add a year. Let's say they will add 1595. And they will just mention in the last few years of the 16th century. You will search for something in the 1700 or 1600 and you won't find the answer. Did you get it? Why it's important to understand how centuries work?
Yes, sir.
So now we know that they're talking about the years 1501 to 1600, and of course in London. She rightly argues. They have used the word rightly because argument is usually negatives, but this time she is rightly arguing that that it's thanks to the imaginative collective efforts of the urban scientists. Urban means the ones who are in the cities. That London became the melting pot. So melting means boiling something to the melting point, and pot means this thing. But here they are not referring to a melting pot, something like this. So they are referring to London becoming a hot spot where people from around the world gathered over. So if all over the places people are simply coming to London, so this becomes the melting pot. This becomes the trending city or trending place where all the scientists gather. So that is why they called it, or the author called it, a melting pot, in which a new mathematical and experimental culture crystallized. So Manthan, you are talking about the word crystal. So crystal, if you look at it, it means something that is very hard.
Yes, sir.
So this is how crystals look. They are extremely hard. They are brittle most of the times, except diamonds and stuff. So what they are trying to say is, in London during the 16th century, mathematical and experimental culture. So the scientists were asked to do mathematical calculations and figure out things, and they were asked to do a lot of experiments. So this became their new culture, and this became concrete in London. So this was the norms, the new norm in London. So this is what they're trying to explain. Did you see? It's not just vocabulary. Vocabulary is for C1, up to C1. I'll explain how it works. So CEFR band score, you can search for this. This is what I searched. CEFR stands for Common European Framework of Reference. This is how it looks. So let's open this one. So can you see this? IELTS on the right side, and on the left side we can see something called C1, C2, B1, B2, A1, A2. So the lower you go on this chart, the less skilled you are considered in the English language. And this also applies for other languages. Even if you take a German test, you have A1, A2, B1, B2 and stuff. So over here, if you notice, C1, this is where vocabulary will help you to score 7, 7.5, maximum up to 8. But if you want to score those 8.5 and 9 band, you will have to have C2 level proficiency, and you need to understand what these things mean. This is beyond the vocabulary. So this is called the inferred meaning. We need to conclude it as per our understanding. Is it clear? So it was fun today. We did cover a few things. We started from the scratch and we did cover up to these levels of reading. So how was today's session? I think I spoke a lot more than the usual, but
Yes, okay. It will help a lot.
okay. And Milton, I think this was your first ever session, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So how was it?
Very good.
Anyone else who has any suggestions?
And you are supposed to speak, sir, more than us because you are teacher, we are student.
See, I do encourage students to speak as much as possible because only through speaking you can learn. But the thing is, for answering the questions, I need to speak as much as possible.
Yes, sir.
So, any suggestions, anything that you would like to talk about before we end the session?
So, sir, should we try to remember some like vocabulary or not, sir? Will it help to us or not, sir? When it comes to the matter of speaking.
Need to learn words, but you need to get comfortable with words. It's not about memorization, it's about habit. I think I asked someone, how are you feeling? And someone said, I'm feeling good. How was your day? The day was great. So this is what I call as, or refer to as, surface vocabulary. So if someone asks you, what's your name? So you naturally say, my name is so and so. That's something you are habituated to. So I was recently working on this file. I'll share it in the main group. So please guys check out our channel, our main channel. I'll share something over there. I'll also add a link to one of the vocabularies that we have. Just give me a second. Yeah, it should be in the channel. Did you get two messages? One is a link and one is a PDF. It has a mind map, so let me open it here.
Sir, I want to know that. Does writing, sir, impact our speaking skill or not?
See, writing affects your thinking and your thinking affects your speaking. This is how I put things in proper perspective. I'll try to say it again. There is no difference between the way you think and the way you write, because thinking is equal to writing, or writing is equal to thinking. These things are correlated. For instance, if I'm speaking right now, yes, I need to be conscious of what I say, but this is a habit, so I keep on speaking. But when it comes to writing, I need to consciously organize my thoughts. I need to arrange the words. I need to arrange everything and organize it on a piece of paper. So the better you're thinking, the better you can write. And the more you practice writing, your thoughts will be more organized. And this organized thoughts will allow you to speak better. Even if you look at professional speakers, even people at TED Talks, they have a small chit on which they have organized their thoughts. They will write down their keywords. And that's it. They just look at the keywords and they can keep on speaking as long as they want. Have you noticed that people have these small chits? For instance, you have cue cards. In the cue card section, you are given a paper on which you are just writing your keywords. You don't write the whole story, just the keywords. This will help you to organize your thoughts. So all things are interrelated: thinking, writing, and speaking. But of course, you cannot expect to keep on writing and become a better speaker, or you cannot expect to keep on speaking and become a better writer. You need to practice these skills. The more you write, the better you get. The more you speak, the better you get.
Yes.
Right. Let me show you one more file. It's the same file that I shared. Is this screen visible? It's on the channel. If you check it out, you can see this. So these are all the words. If you look at here, it says situational idioms and vocabulary. So if you go to the first one, it says happy. These are all the idiomatic expressions, and the last two are my personal favorite: makes my heart smile and cute little bundle of joy. So I can use these words together. I can simply make a sentence by saying, whenever I play with my nephew, she makes my heart smile because she is a cute little bundle of joy. These are idioms. You can use idioms to express yourselves, express your feelings better. And I can also use ecstatic, euphoric. My nephew always makes me euphoric because she is a cute little bundle of joy. You can blend these two things together. Correct? And if you look here, these are the phonetics. This is how it's pronounced. Okay, let me actually open the file. This is the PDF. We'll have the actual file open. Just give me a second. I think it should be visible. Yeah. Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's adjusted. Let me open the file. So we are talking about this thing. Is it clearly visible now?
Yes, sir.
So I used these ones and I used this one. So I made a mixture of these things. And in terms of vocabulary, if you see, look at the right side, this is called the phonetic language. This is also called as grapheme in our language. This is the pedagogy part. You don't need to learn the pedagogy. But if you look at this, it clearly tells us how to pronounce this sentence or this word. So this is ecstatic. Just by looking here, it gives us a sense that this is ecstatic. Ecstatic. U. This is not J. This is Y. So euphoric. Euphoric. This is not content. This is content. It tells us here it's content. Content is different. Content is happiness, being satiated, being satisfied. So this is the entire PDF that I shared. So open any feeling that you want to express. You'll have idioms as well as vocabs. And the final piece of advice is idioms are only for speaking, not for writing. Do not use this in your writing. Correct? So this is the PDF that I shared in the actual channel, the final. Any questions so far? Anything that you did not understand? So I guess that's it. We should end our session here. Thank you so much for joining. As always, thank you for your valuable time. I tried my best to add value. Yeah, someone said something.
Yes, sir. How often these types of online sessions are held on your channel?
Okay, I'm glad that you asked, and it is not my channel, it is our channel. It's not blocked, it's not a private channel. So yeah. So if you go to IDP's website, you should be able to see all the dates in which tests are available. So if I select pen and paper based, if I select this academic and the city as Ahmedabad, you should be able to see all the dates of next month. So we are in August, the next month is September. So if you notice, these are the 4 days available for the actual test. So these sessions will be taken 1 day prior. So the next month's schedule, I already scheduled it. It will be sent on the 1st of September at 9 a.m. You'll receive this schedule. And the first session will be on 6th, the second on 13th, the third on 18th, and the fourth on 27th. And you don't have to worry if you have your notifications turned on. You'll get the notifications.
Teacher,
Hi there. Yes, Nasa.
teacher, thank you for your encouragement. Thank you for helping.
You're most welcome. And thank you so much for joining. It was fun. So, Manthan, Lord, I think you guys asked this question, so I guess you are clear with the sessions, the schedule. We have it 1 day prior to the actual test.
Okay.
Right. So,
But sir, I think this even which I see like in the calendar. So it is a date of the there are dates of 7, 14, 19 or 28. But you took the name like sir 6 or 13 or 18. Why is that so, sir?
okay, I'll explain. So initially, for the first, I would say 66 or 65 sessions, I used to call it the Saturday night Q&A session. So I used to like that part where we call it as Saturday Night Live, SNL. But the problem is the students who had their test on 7th, they used to tell me that my exam was today in the morning. So it doesn't make any sense to attend the session after they take the test. So if they join on Friday, the 6th, they can ask questions, I can suggest certain things, and the next day, early morning, they can take the test and they can implement those suggestions. So this is the reason we changed it.
Okay, sir, got it, sir.
Got the idea? As I'm saying, I do take suggestions, so if you have any suggestions, do let me know. I'm here to help you guys. I'm trying my level best to add value because you guys spent the last almost 1.5 hours with me, and there were on an average 10 to 12 people. So multiply that by 12 people. So that's hundreds of hours we have spent together collectively. So if I'm wasting 1 minute, that's 12 minutes wasted in one shot. So I need to make sure that I keep on adding value. Any other questions before we close?
No, sir, thank you, sir.
Yeah, you're most welcome. And thank you so much for joining. You have a wonderful day. Take care.
Thank you so much, sir.
You're most welcome, Chirag.
Sir, thank you, sir. See you. Good night, sir.
Good night. Good
Bye,
night.
sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
You're most welcome, Dhruv. Most welcome, Nazdar.